What is up, you guys? This is Robert Wolkenbrod here of CINEMATALKERY, back for another episode. Now, our episodes have been a little shorter lately, but this one's going to go a little more in depth here. It's not going to be about a simple Spider-Man rumor or about the Batman. This is going to be about the upcoming movies that are being released in March, because we were very close to the third month of the year already. And it's when the movie season is going to be picking up just a little bit, because January and February have been pretty dry, unless you were that into Sonic and Birds of Prey and Dolittle. These movies were all there. None of them are going to be too memorable down the line. There was Bad Boys for Life, which I did enjoy, but there's not going to be any type of films that are going to be like, wow, this is the film of 2020. Now, I don't know if we're going to get that from March either, but I am liking the film slate here. It's not as much of a dumping ground. I see potential for some good hits, and I'm looking forward to seeing what it could bring, because there's some things that are going to be more films that we could be looking back on throughout the year or later this year, rather than just looking back on Birds of Prey and whatnot. So I really want to get into this. I want to go into some things that could be interesting here for the next, once we get into the March, for the next 30 days, or 31 days. So the first film I wanted to get into is titled Onward. It comes out on March 6th. It's the pretty much the first big release of the month. It stars Tom Holland and Chris Pratt. No, this is not a Marvel movie. This is a film by Disney and Pixar. Now, it's Tom Holland and Chris Pratt sitting under the Disney umbrella via their work with Marvel Studios, of course. But this is an animated film, again, called Onward, that has got nice casting beyond them. It's got Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Octavia Spencer, Ali Wong, among others. And the premise, we're going to use the trusty Wikipedia. Set in a fantastical world where the populace once had magic, two teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot, receive a wizard's staff as a prearranged gift from their father, who died before Ian was born and when Barley was too young to remember him. The staff came with a spell that will bring him back for only 24 hours so his sons can meet him. Prompted by Barley, Ian uses the spell only to end up just with his father's legs. This causes the brothers to go on a quest for a way to bring back the rest of their father before time is up. Sounds like an interesting film. They're going on a bit of a quest. It's a PG quest, but it's a quest. And hey, Disney and Pixar make some really fantastic films. I know anime films aren't really for everyone, but I mean, if you look at their line of films through Toy Story and the Incredibles, some work has just been off the charts, exceptional. And so far, this looks like it's getting some good reviews as of this recording, has an 82% Rotten Tomatoes. Now, the critics aren't everything. Certainly not everything. You can base it on your own opinion, but so far I'd say it's a good thing. It's also has an 8 out of 10 on IMDb as well. So I'm interested. I don't have an issue with animated films for the most part. Some of them stand out for me. Others I obviously don't think stand out. If there's something that has Disney and Pixar attached to it, I will probably see it. So I am going to go see Onward, and we're probably going to do a video on Onward after it comes out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to see what it brings. Next up is The Way Back, also coming out on March 6th. So there's a little bit of competition here. Stars Ben Affleck, and it's about a widowed former basketball all-star lost family foundation in a struggle with addiction and attempts to come back by becoming the coach of a disparate, ethnically mixed high school basketball team at his alma mater. It's Ben Affleck's real first standout thing since he left the DC films. There was the Netflix film that he was part of. I believe it was earlier last year, maybe late 2018. But there was wasn't exactly memorable. He's been kind of quiet in the meantime since. Um, so I'm looking forward to see what type of film this comes out to be. Looks like a drama, and sometimes these sports films are actually really usually these sports films are hit or miss. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna see this. I don't know if we're gonna do a video on this. Maybe if it gets a good enough reaction, maybe we will. But for right now, I'm gonna say it looks fine. Um, Probably more of a wait and see thing to see what comes about it. But good on Ben Affleck for getting more big name work. Um, he's had some sobriety problems over the past few years, but hopefully that's getting turned around as well. And hopefully for him, this becomes a success. We'll see moving forward. Now, we actually have a superhero film coming out in March. It's not a Marvel film. It is on Bloodshot. Yes, Bloodshot, starring Vin Diesel. And this is, yeah, Fast and Furious 9. It's not his first film of the year. It's Bloodshot. Bloodshot is a comic book character that was created by Valiant Comics. And Vin Diesel took on this character, and he's going to bring it to life with a soldier, with the premise of a soldier is brought back to life with superpowers. Very simple premise that is it's gonna probably unfold pretty quickly, and yeah, it should be interesting. I'll probably go see it. Just because I enjoy superhero films in general. I don't see every single one of them. Like I didn't bother seeing Hellboy when it came out last April. Maybe I'll see that when it comes out on TV at some point. But Bloodshot, it's Vin Diesel really taking a different route from and yes, he plays Groot in the Marvel films, but he kind of only says one word, or I should say 3 words. I am Groot. So him taking a different angle on a superhero film should be kind of interesting. It'll probably be a big, muscled up film like Vin Diesel's In the Flesh films usually are, which is fine. There's probably not going to be a breaker for Academy Award, Golden Globe, or anything like that, but it should be a fun film. It's got a decent placement in March when people are slowly getting back into the theaters. So we'll see how well this does, because this is also going to have some competition against Onward and The Way Back. We don't know how well The Way Back's going to do, but Disney and Pixar films usually gain some traction. So curious to see how well Bloodshot does here. I think it's going to come out okay. It's against a $42 million budget, so it's probably going to cross that, I would think. But again, there is competition throughout the month, and there's a chance that it might not pick up the steam that maybe it needs. So we'll see. Next film I'm looking at is completely different from most things that are coming out in March. It's Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. Yes, Never, Rarely, Sometimes, Always. An intimate portrayal of 2 teenage girls in rural Pennsylvania. Faced with an unintended pregnancy and a lack of local support, Autumn and her cousin Skylar embark on a brave, fraught journey across state lines to New York City. Stars Ryan Eggold, Theodore Pellerin, and Sharon Van Etten. Directed by Eliza Hittman. This film is something that could probably catch some buzz. Probably one of the more grounded films of the month. And not lots known about this too much, because this isn't one of those big, booming comic book hits or big blockbustery productions. But this is something that could sneak in there as a pre-spring hit. I'm curious to see how it comes out, because it's getting really, really good reviews for the most part. 100% as of this recording, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. 100%, and that's not just out of one review. It's out of 34 reviews. It also has a 3.5 out of 4 from the Roger Ebert website. Only 6.6 out of 10 on IMDb, but that's also only through 59 votes. So this is a film that could really be the first breakthrough hit of 2020. I'm going to see it. There's a good chance we'll have a video up on it at some point. And it's going to be something that could be it, a first critical hit of the year. Next film we have to get into is A Quiet Place Part 2, for a sequel of the hit from 2018. They moved on a sequel very fast from A Quiet Place, which starred John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Now, that's a film that also received 95% Rotten Tomatoes. It made $340 million at the box office. It looked good. It came out good. It came out very good. So this film, the cast is going to dwindle a little bit. Spoiler alert. The film's been out 2 years now. John Krasinski's character dies. So it's going to really focus on Emily Blunt's character and her kids and how they navigate this wild scene in the synopsis here that we're going to look at. Following the deadly events at home, the Abbott family must now face the terrors of the outside world as they continue their fight for survival in silence. Forced to venture into the unknown, they quickly realize that the creatures that hunt by sound are not the only threats that lurk beyond the sand path. Now, there's also going to be parts played by Cillian Murphy and Digimon Hansu, so we'll see how they factor into the mix here, and whether we get maybe a human threat out of this. Maybe there's other mystical threats, but yeah, this film's probably one of the more highly anticipated sequels. Now, sequels don't always work out the way they intended. The original is always better than the sequel, something that usually applies to films, unless it's The Godfather. So there might be some hesitation here a little bit, but Quiet Place Part 2 should still be confident in it. John Krasinski, as he did with the first film, directed the second film here, so we'll see how well it comes out. This comes out on March 20th. Now, the final film we have to get into for the month of March is Mulan, Disney's next live-action film, taking from its animated portrayals of the 90s. They did it with The Lion King, or not even just the 90s, but from way back, from Dumbo, Aladdin. And these films haven't exactly worked out critically. Financially, for the most part, they've done fine, especially The Lion King. Made a lot of money, so did Aladdin. Both crossed $1 billion. But with Mulan, this is going to be the first test of 2020, because Disney's not going to stop doing these live action films for as long as they can make money out of them. Mulan has a budget of roughly $300 million. It's a lot of money, and Disney must be really banking on something big here. And it's possible. Maybe they make $1 billion out of this. But it's a little bit of an early release into the year. It's not a Marvel film. And I'm a little hesitant on how well it's going to do in regard to how much it costs to make, especially as it underwent reshoots too. There's also a good chance that it's going to get a PG-13 rating, which at least reportedly, which is kind of stunning itself. PG-13 ratings don't happen for Disney live-action films like this unless it's a Marvel film. So it's definitely a chance being taken since you're going a little above the level of kids, which these films are usually made for. So I'm curious at what we're going to get out of a PG-13 Mulan film, unless we're going to get some type of violence in here that's going to be a little over the edge, or maybe they're going to throw in a few F-bombs, a few S-bombs. We'll see. I'm curious. This is probably going to be a Disney live-action film I go see, because I didn't go see Aladdin or The Lion King in movies. I saw it afterwards, but not at the time it came out, just because it didn't have great general interest in animated films within a few months of each other like that. Or not even just that, really, but just the fact that these films just didn't give off a great vibe about them. Which is unfortunate, and they didn't exactly turn out well critically, but if it makes money, it works. So that will do it for this edition of CINEMATALKERY, wrapping up the movies of March that you should go see. They're the biggest films of the month, and who knows, there could be other films that develop during this month that are worthy of a view. There will be conversations about all these films along the way as we get into more of the heart of the season, the movie season, and we've got a little bit of way to go here before we get really into the heart. But this is kind of this surrounding layer, and we have some interesting things to look forward to. I'm anticipating seeing all these films that I just listed off, and I hope you go see them too. Leave a comment below here for which films you're looking forward to the most in March. And also, as always, please subscribe below as well. We need 100 subscribers to change the URL at the top of the page here. We're on our way there, but of course, I need more help. And I hope you enjoy our content and tune in again for the next edition.